Okay, well done, everybody. You made it through the first 15 minutes of action. Very cool stuff. Does anyone want to share what they found? I know we have a couple people who have some questions, but go ahead and go to the chat section and just share if there's anything that popped out at you between like what your competition is doing or what you found on social media sites or what you found on Amazon that gave you any good ideas or things you didn't like. Go ahead and share that in the chat area. And I know that Jeff wrote that the ads that I showed look different than his. He said it's 3 product pictures with the logo and a tagline at the top of them. Okay. Jeff, I'd love to know the search term so we could all look at it together or something similar to that. That'd be fantastic. And we'll take a look at it all together. All right. And then Victoria wrote, what if you have several products for different keywords like toys and clothes? Would you put an ad out for just one product, or would you put both products in the ad, even if only one fits the keyword? I saw both scenarios, so curious what you would do. So it really kind of depends on how off that other product is. If it's like really, really off, then maybe it wouldn't serve your ad. But if it's very close, it could serve. If your audience is into both products, then I would say that's probably a good use of putting it there. If it's something that's completely different, then probably not. But I would always try to use up as much of that real estate as possible. So if you have a variation you could put up there of your other product, that would be ideal. All right, Jeff writes, floor restore is the keyword. So guys, we're going to look at this together on Amazon. And then we're going to move on to headlines so that we can keep this show on the road. Floor. Okay. This is an interesting layout for sponsored brand ads. See how it doesn't take up the majority of the top here. Wow, this is an interesting. This is an interesting look where the ad is actually the image is actually above the 3 products. So you can see that this looks completely different than, let's say, Grill Brush, where the product image is over on the left. So it is going to depend on the category. Just keep that in mind, guys. So look at your category and see like what's the layout. I mean, that might help tweak your ad a little bit, but that was a really good find, Jeff. And yeah, it's definitely category dependent. Thank you for pointing that out. All right. So if no one has any questions or observations, I would like to move on because the next one I think requires the most amount of skill. I'm going to be talking about it for quite a long time. All right, guys. And if you do have a question, just post them here. I will make sure to answer all of them before we are done today. Okay, let's move on. I'm going to say goodbye to Einstein for a second. And also I'm going to take myself off. There we go. Turn the webcam off. Perfect. Okay, so next we have the headline. Okay, so these used to be called headline search ads. Obviously now we have the headline. Now they're called sponsored brand ads. The headline is absolutely critical to make sure that shoppers are sort of in alignment with what they're actually looking for. So this is a great way to get into alignment with the actual search term. You can use that search term in your headline. You can use a lot of different copy strategies in this headline. And we're going to go over a bunch of different ways to really get inside the mind of the customer and put something really, really good here. All right, guys. So here's what we're talking about with the headline. You can see here, it's new Tidy Max 14-day odor control guaranteed is the headline for this ad. Now, there's something I want to go over. Many of you might have seen the video that I did. This might be a little bit of a repeat content, but it's just for a couple of minutes. But many of you might have seen this. It's called the 4 U's of crafting a good headline. So this is from an article from Neil Patel, and we'll go over some examples. The first U is to make your headline unique. So for example, this is the snow cone machine headline. You can see here that the headline is enjoy shaved ice by the pool with your little ones. And I really love this example because it's very unique. I searched other snow cone machines. Nobody had anything like this. So it definitely qualifies for one of the first U's. It also paints a really good picture and it goes really well with the lifestyle image that they chose. So how cool is this? There's the Hawaiian shaved ice logo in the actual product lifestyle image. There's this kid who is just having a good old time. There's the parent who's probably searching for this for their kids. I'm sure he's not on Amazon, but they're imagining the life that they will have on vacation or in their backyard or at the pool, and just the joy that this brings to the situation, to their life, to their life in general. So the actual headline, "Enjoy shaved ice by the pool with your little ones," that paints a picture. And to me, that was a really good, unique way of using a headline. Okay, next is to be ultra specific. So ultra specific means being in alignment with the actual customer search term. If somebody's searching for something, for example, in this example, snow shovel, you can see that in the actual headline itself, there's snow shovel, right? So that is ultra specific. Here, we're going to dive into the search term report. We're going to find out what shoppers are already searching for. We're then going to use that as our foundation for our headline and make a headline that is ultra specific to that search term. And then we're going to target those search terms with our keyword targeting and our match type targeting. All right, guys. So second, be very specific. Know your audience, speak to your audience, and make sure your headline speaks to the audience. And in this case, the search term or keyword that you're targeting. All right, now create a sense of urgency. Actually, Amazon, I read through their sponsored brand, like do's and don'ts, and they did say that you can use urgency in there, but you can only use it in a certain way. You can't be like, limited time offer or something like that. You have to make sure you use it in the right way. And I think I might have a couple of notes here. We can go over to Amazon and see how they recommend using it. But one of the use is to add a sense of urgency. Something like get this snowblower before the leaves start coming down, or something like that, where you're telling people that, hey, there's this awesome product and there's a limited time before you can get it, before you may need it. Or in some other way, if you have some kind of discount, you can actually talk about a discount in your sponsored brand ad headline. You have to say it in a certain way, though. And I really want to find that those guidelines by Amazon, because that's going to be really helpful. If not, I will make sure that everyone gets that, because then you could start to use these elements in a way that work for you. So we'll talk more about that in a minute. Okay, then also make it useful. So here we have learning toys. Turn screen time into fun learning time. Now imagine that you are a parent and you have a kid who's staring at their screen, and this is a problem. You want them to learn. You type in learning toys, and then you connect the dots between the problem of the screen time and the fact that there's these learning toys. How awesome is it to turn screen time into fun learning time? So this is a good example of making your headline useful, because with this, it solves a problem. So it's useful. Anything that solves a problem to me is very useful. So turn screen time into fun learning time. Think about the benefit of your product. Think about how you can turn that into a headline that is useful for your shoppers as they're considering your product. Keep in mind, they're in the consideration phase here. They're still considering the product they want to purchase. So if you provide value, make it useful, there's the law of reciprocation, hopefully comes into play. They'll either click or maybe click later on. Okay, guys? So make it useful. Next, here's a tip. Customer reviews for copy. Okay, so this is really important. This is unique, ultra specific, and useful, because here we're actually going into the customer reviews and we're trying to speak the same language as our customers. We're aligning our language with our customers' language. And there's a tool called the Review Downloader that is really useful for this. Essentially, it's a free Chrome extension. I believe it's free. Maybe it's not free. But if you have Helium 10, you can definitely use it. Here's what happens. I went and I typed in car charger, and I got these examples. And then just in a matter of seconds, I put together this headline. Buy the super fast charging car charger that works great. Now, that's not the best headline. It's okay. But the point is, it covers so many of these words that I know my customers are speaking. They're using this language. Okay. So, I put this together really quickly, but this could be a really good foundational starting point for you to start to use this when you're using and crafting some of your headlines with the 4 different U's. Okay. So next tip is use the search term report, which is unique and ultra specific. So why is it unique? Because we're getting, I didn't say it is unique. Well, yes, it is unique, but it's more ultra specific than anything else. So the reason is we're getting into the customer's mind. We know what they're searching for, and we can actually dig into search term reports. Now, it used to just be sponsored product search term reports, but now we have sponsored brand search term reports as well. And if this is foreign to you, all you have to do is log on to Seller Central and go to your advertising reports, and then go now to sponsored brand and go to the search term reports. You can actually see what customers are searching for, and then see how those performed, how those search terms performed for your ads. If you don't have sponsored brand ads, go to your sponsored product ads first and look at those, and then start with that. It's a great way to get started. Now we know what your customer is searching for. We know that they've purchased your product. We can then leverage that and be ultra specific by using those search terms in our different headlines. And here's an example of the search term report inside of PPC Entourage. You can see that there's hundreds of orders, dozens of orders for different search terms. I would then go ahead and I would craft an ad utilizing some of those search terms. And by the way, guys, there's long tail, medium tail. There's really a lot of different search terms you can do. And here's the strategy that I would do. I'm going to talk about this now, the copy, rinse, and repeat strategy. So the copy, rinse, and repeat strategy is really cool because what we're doing is simple, simple, simple. Want to keep things easy. Want to keep things duplicatable. We're going to do this. We're going to go to our best ads. We're going to craft really good ads from the beginning. If you haven't crafted ads yet, or we're going to go to the ads that are performing really, really well. Then we're going to copy them. We're going to rinse and repeat with them. And let me show you what that's all about. So inside of Seller Central, you can go and you can actually copy your sponsored brand ads. Then what you can do is you can then find the search terms in your search term report, and then edit the headlines, edit the keywords that you're targeting to go after specifically those keywords and those search terms. So for example, let's say you have the grill brush that works really well, and that's your headline. And that ad is rocking it. It's working so well. You got a 10% ACOS. You're like, okay, let me go to the search term report and see what else is working really well. What are the search terms are working well? And you see that the extra long grill brush with handle, whatever, is working really well. So then you're going to go ahead and then take that search term, modify, click on copy, modify your headline, modify the keywords inside of your ad, and target that specific search term that worked well in your search term report. Does that make sense, guys? You can duplicate this on all of the winning search terms. Now, what this does is it helps you get ultra specific to what people are actually shopping for. Because now anytime somebody types in that long tail keyword, you're going to have that in your headline. You're going to be targeting that with an exact match. Boom. You're going to have specificity, and that is total alignment with what the shopper is looking for. You're more likely to get good results. So just to go over the copy, rinse, repeat strategy, what we're doing is we're finding ads that already have worked really well, or we're leveraging this sponsored brand ad workshop and we're crafting really good ads from the start. Then the ones that do really exceptionally well, we're going to copy. We're going to then go into the search term report, find the search terms from our sponsored product ads that are doing really well. And then we're going to make these like very specific to those search terms. They're going to be single keyword, exact match type. We're going to improve the headline put that search term in that headline. It's going to be laser focused to the person that is actually shopping for that search term. Okay, guys, it's called the copy, rinse, and repeat strategy. Next, we have different types of headlines. We have trust, we have curiosity, we have news, call to action, brand awareness, benefit, how to, self-interest. And I'm pretty sure I just lost about half of you because this is probably overwhelming. However, what we want to do is think about what type of ad we're actually trying to put out there. Are we trying to put something that's for brand awareness where it's okay if it's not as specific, where we can be a little bit more general about what our brand does and it's not product specific? Or what if it's a brand new product to a product line and people are aware of your product line and now you're adding something new? Well, that could be a product line type of headline. Or what if it's something that is not really well known? Maybe you want to start a little curiosity and a little intrigue, so you'd have a curiosity headline. Or what if it's something that's newsworthy, something that is, or maybe you were featured somewhere. I know Amazon says that you have to actually show a proof that you were featured. If you have research too, you have to show proof in your actual listing. But what if you have this great this research done on your product, and there's some news to share. Well, that could be in there as well, so long that you can prove it. So these are the different types of headlines. And to make this super easy for you guys, we have this free tool called the Entourage Spotlight Headline Creator. Entourage Spotlight Headline Creator. Now, all you have to do there, you don't even have to put in your email. Just go on to ppcentourage.com. I believe it's under either resources or academy. It might be under resources, under academy. And let me show you guys so there's no confusion here. Right, 1 second, guys. Go to our site, and yes, it is under Academy right over here, Spotlight Headlines. And I'm going to go into it actually live on this call. This way we can do it. Now, the Spotlight Headline Creator is really cool because what you can do is you can look at all of these different types of headlines. Now, we want to make sure that you're unique enough and you don't just copy, but this will give you a good starting place. If you start to put the pieces together and say, okay, I got the search terms that are working. I know that this product needs some brand awareness. Well, let me go down to the brand awareness ads right over here. And let me start to craft a brand awareness ad. Now we have 6 examples of a really good brand awareness ad. And you could also put a call to action. The one call to action that you can't do, I think, is buy now or save or whatever Amazon has. You can't use the same one. Shop now. Yeah, you can't use shop now. I don't think we have that here. No, we don't. So you can use all of these here. But essentially, this is a great way to start to give you some ideas as to which the headlines to craft. Of course, you want to make sure that you're not going to just copy these. You want to make sure that you're unique, specific, and all of the use. But this will give you a great place to get started. All right, guys. So next, this is it. I did put this in the presentation. All right. Who does anyone have any questions? Because I want to make sure that this is explained very clearly. And the reason why I put a snooze face is because this has got a lot of copy on the slide. And I want to make sure that it doesn't overwhelm people. Okay, so basically here's what Amazon says you can do in your ad. We prohibit any reference to specific pricing promotions in sponsored brands. This includes deals, offers, and savings such as 50% off on this. So you can't say like save 50% on your toenail clippers or save $20 on this massage drill, whatever the heck the thing is called. Okay, we permit the following types of promotional messages, including close variations on sponsored brands if the promotion is visible on the product detail page and valid for the duration of the campaign. So what they're saying is, as long as your promotion is visible on your page and it's still valid, you can actually talk about the savings. So save now can be used. Great prices on this, great savings on this, great bundles on this, buy this and get this. These are things that I've never actually seen. I don't see this very often. I mean, look, I just gave you a ton of examples. It's not something that you typically see unless the seller knows what they're doing. And let me tell you, a lot of competition does not know what they're doing. So this is a great example of another way to craft amazing headlines. Okay. Next, they do have some words on the call to action you can use. We recommend the use of a call to action in your ad to improve your ad's performance, but the presence of a call to action is not required. If you use a call to action in your headline and copy, the call to action must be clear and precise. Not use language that pressure customers into taking action like last chance or don't miss out. This is what I meant before when I said that you can use scarcity, but you can't use stuff like last chance or don't miss out. You have to use it in a different way. And they're saying you can't use emotionally charged language. And here's what's prohibited. Click here and other non-specific variations, call to actions that duplicate the default call to action in sponsored brand ads. So for example, shop now is prohibited in the USA, India, and Germany, because that's the default sponsored brand ad call to action. If you go over here, you're going to see shop now right over here. Amazon doesn't want you to say shop bristles free grill brushes from Kona, shop now, shop now. It's repetitive and it's not a good customer experience. Okay, next, claims and substantiations. This is basically saying that if you make a claim, you have to prove that claim in your listing in the more detail section. You have to make sure that you're not just coming up with some like random fact, like 97% of people said this. Well, yeah, you need a claim to show that that is something that actually is is proof. And then if it's a really cool claim, like if it really serves your case, then go ahead and put that into your sponsored brand ad, put that into your headline. All right, guys, before we get onto action, I would like to answer some questions. So Mark writes, I missed the early part of the webinar. Are we going to have a replay? Absolutely. Yes. The number one question I see is that, is this going to be recorded? Yes, it is going to be recorded. And then we will send that out. So guys, the 15 minutes was long before. So let's see how we do. But 15 minutes of action. All right, let me put my video on here. Hey, what's up, everyone? We still have a lot of people here. That's awesome. Glad you guys are all hanging out and hopefully learning a ton. We're now on our second 15 minutes of action, and we just covered a ton of material. So what I want you to do is take 15 minutes to start the process of learning how to craft really good headlines. Keep in mind, guys, that I'm not a copywriter at all. I am totally not a copywriter. In fact, I speak at a third grade language level, and that's how I write as well too. And that's cool. That actually helps, to be honest. I've read studies that show that helps. But what I'm saying here is start to learn how to craft good headlines and start to craft a couple good headlines. And this is going to be a 15-minute assignment, but we just went over a ton of information. Between now and Thursday, you're going to craft even more headlines because headlines are important. This is a skill that's it's worth working on, as opposed to some other things that aren't going to move the needle. Making these sponsored brand ads is super important. Or if you have somebody in your team who's good at this, give them some instructions. Show them this webinar. Maybe make a little handout for them that summarizes this webinar and give them some instructions. But for the point of this, we're going to take 15 minutes. You're going to craft 3 to 5 headlines. Use the 4 U's of headlines, the Amazon suggested guidelines, and the Entourage headline creator to help you. Also be ready to share, because once we're done with this, I want to share a couple. Now, I think we're going to do this for 10 minutes because I know people's attention spans are a little less, and that's okay. I think 10 minutes, if you guys can craft 3 to 5 killer amazing headlines in 10 minutes, and then we're going to share for 5, and then we'll go on to the next section, which is going to be epic and awesome. So guys, 15 minutes, the clock is going to start now.